I'd like to call to order the Planning, Zoning, Agriculture meeting Tuesday, February 18th, 2025 at 9 a.m. We'll start off with a roll call.
Mr. Featherling,
Here.
Mr. Miller, Mr. Tholen, Ms. Weber, Mr. Dunnell,
Present.
Mr. Smith, Ms. Foster, Ms. Andrade, Ms. Armour Earps, Mr. Ashcraft, Miss Monday,
Present.
Miss Amber Turner, Mr. Lowy,
Present.
Miss Denise Turner, Mr. Alexander Hildebrand,
Present.
and Mr. Long.
And then
We
can
do
I
have
have
a
a,
quorum.
thank you. And then can I have a motion and a second to allow Mr. Featherling and Monday in via Zoom? First by Lowy, second by Turner from Kankakee. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. It doesn't
Thank
look-
you.
No problem. It doesn't look like we have any public comments, so we'll move on to the approval of the minutes for the PZA meeting January 21st, 2025. Can I have a motion and a second? First by Smith, second by Dunnell. Any questions? All right, voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same
Aye.
sign. Motion carries. And then under building, we have the building report for January 2025, and we need a motion to approve the building report. First by Denise Turner from Moments, second by Lowy. Any discussion?
Do you want me to go over it?
Yeah, you can go
Oh,
over it.
We had a pretty good month in January. One new house built, one solar farm permit issued. Total permits of 50 with $11.2 million in valuation, brought in revenue of $46,612. That's up quite a bit from January of 2024, where we only brought in $15,000. So most of that was the solar farm, though.
Any questions for Dell? Lowy?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Oh, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The solar farm, where was that located at?
I didn't ask.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't ask which one this one was.
All
I
right.
think it's the one up in on X Line Road, maybe
Okay,
over either that or the one on North Street. One of those two.
gotcha. Thank you.
Any more questions for Dell? All right, we'll do a voice vote. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same
Aye.
sign. Motion carries. Next up, we have a stormwater discussion.
Yes, to keep our NPDES permit active, we need to have public involvement for our stormwater program. One of the ways we do that is by asking this committee if they have any stormwater issues that they would like to let us know about in their districts. If not, we can move on.
Any questions? All right, moving on. We'll move on to the zoning. I'll let Dell take over here.
All right, Joanne. This is ZBA case 2413, which is a request for a variance to section 121-294.d.10.f.8, off-street parking for industrial use on a parcel generally situated in section 23 of Manteno Township. Petitioners are Van Drunen Land Holdings LLC, and which is the property owner, and Piggish Engineering Incorporated, which is the applicant. Can you make that full screen possibly, maybe? You can see it a little better. Yeah, we can. That's all right. We'll go ahead and go with it. All right. Van Drunen Holdings purchased the warehouse building at 1260 Sycamore Road in Manteno. At the time of purchase, it had 153,000 square feet and 88 parking spaces. They are under permit right now to add an additional 48,000 square feet to the facility. This is a cold storage facility. And part of that is going into their parking spaces, and their original plan was by the time they got done with the addition, they would have 38 parking spaces left out of their 88 that originally had. Based on the square footage of the building, the original building should have had 192 parking spaces, and with the addition should have 252. They presented a plan to zoning board. Can you go to the next one? That would bring the total parking spaces up to 96 with the addition, and the zoning board agreed that that was a sufficient number of parking spaces for the facility. So they voted 4-0 to recommend approval. That does represent a variance of 62%.
And then can I have a motion and a second to approve the variance? First by Ms. Turner from Moments. Second by Mr. Lowy. Any questions for Dell? Any questions for Dell? All right, we'll do a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next up, under transportation, we have the Rural Transit Purchase of Service Agreement. Ben?
I feel like we're here again. A couple new faces in the committee, and I have an update on the current program, and I know that we've given subsequent conversations and presentations with this committee about rural transit involving our neighbors. So I want to give you kind of what we have from a procedural standpoint, and then maybe just a little bit of an update as far as Kankakee County rural transit going forward. Every year we are required to, well, we're not required to. We could offer transit. I could drive a bus, but every year we solicit for a vendor for rural transit. And so in January of each year, we go out to about 11 agencies locally with a preference towards not-for-profits to offer what's essentially pass-through transit for rural transit. We received one response to that, which I would say is expected. We typically receive one response. We received a response from Showbus. So it's certainly the response we wanted to get in that group. We've got a great relationship with Laura and her team, and they do a really good job offering transit. And I just wanted to highlight a little bit. When we send these letters out, we identify to those agencies exactly what type of transit we offer, and then we expect them to respond with quite a bit of response. But we're talking about Monday through Friday service. It's starting at 3:45 in the morning. This is not an easy thing to tackle from a transit standpoint. So again, very pleased that Showbus was able to make this happen. There's been a lot of things changing in the world of rural transit with us and our neighbors, but Laura was very committed to Kankakee County, and she understands all of the heavy lifting they'll have to do. I actually have Dell give it to me this morning. We have a check that we run through our system to reimburse them. They carry the cost the entire time while they're doing the transit. We request the reimbursement from the state on a monthly basis, and then we cut checks to them. So that's kind of one of the key areas in the letter we send out to everybody, and I think that's probably what scares a lot of the other providers away, is that we don't want to be carrying, I think the current check is $61,000, and we were talking about a large sum of money, and things are better now from a financial situation in this county, but at the height of the bad times, I don't know that we could have carried that, and that's why we're really, again, very pleased to have this partner responding to that. So this is a culmination of the process. On January 7th, we sent a letter out saying that they're due back to us by February 7th. We received the response from Laura and her team. We're advising the committee that we have received one response. At the next committee meeting, we will bring forward the 5311, which is the Federal Transit Administration section for our funding, the state's Downstate Operating Assistance Fund program, and the subsequent documents. So you'll actually see a purchase of services contract at your next meeting, but this is kind of that first step in the process. Good stuff. No need to vote for it today. And then on the other side of this, where our staff, Mr. Long, we've been meeting with our neighbors, talked a little bit about what would be our involvement with our neighboring communities, how would that work. I maybe got a little bit of blessing to continue to exercise that with the group. I do want to give an update, and we've shared information with Livingston County. Livingston County has agreed to be the lead applicant for our neighboring counties. So we're going to be bringing to you a single county application for Kankakee County. I think that's really what the pleasure of the board was. And we still, if Alina were to ask me today for more info, we certainly would give her whatever she needed for their application, but we won't have to be an applicant for multiple counties. So the application you'll see next month will just be for Kankakee County, and then we'll continue to potentially offer some technical service to them, but that's just more on a staff time, not something the board will have to be obligated to. So I think it really worked out in the best possible way it could. given the fact that there was a bunch of changes coming through McLean County with that change. So things are good in the rural transit world. We're very pleased to have our response. And again, you'll see an application for all of our federal dollars. We do about $700,000 worth of rural transit in our county every year to offer rides to people. It's a really nice tool that we have available to us. We'll continue to partner up. We'll continue to try and solicit additional matching funds to do more transit. But we're currently partnering with Age Guide and a couple of local service agencies to offer transit, and we'll continue to kind of bolster those. So, good news in the world of transit.
Any questions for Ben? All right, thank you for the update, Ben.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Any old business? Any new business?
Like to make a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn by Mr. Featherling, second by Smith. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.